Okay, we're back for day 2, Friday. I get through some more tractor display this morning. Hopefully get through about half of this block is kind of what I want to do. And then we'll be out in the field again. Hopefully today they got a little bit more activity going on. Although I found out that they were doing a fair bit more than I thought they were yesterday. I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time every time. They did, well, I guess the only thing I didn't really get, they did some more, they combined some more corn and they cut some beans, but I guess the bean cutting, they only had about 3 machines running yesterday, so try to get some more of that today, hopefully. 730 tandem set up, front's a diesel, back's a row crop gas. The way that worked ground was pulling yesterday, I think this guy might have a hard time pulling that on the singles because I was slipping with the duals on the T. He might, maybe he'll be alright, I don't know. This thing was neat. I saw it when we were unloading Wednesday. Homemade high crop sprayer. Although I'm guessing the tractor conversion, it's set there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's homemade. And at least it could be homemade, but I think they scavenge parts from not homemade stuff because obviously all that casting for that hinge is not homemade. I know I've seen high crop conversions on deers like that before, so I think at least the high crop conversion kit was bought and they probably did the rest on their own, I'm guessing. Maybe the whole thing was a kit. Oh, wait a minute. I guess I could just read the sign. Sprayer manufactured by Trico Sprayer Company, Forsyth, Illinois. Stilts manufactured by Tractor Stilts of Blair, Nebraska. Store 1 of 3 tractors modified at a Milford, Illinois deer dealership for spraying standing corn in Hoopston and Milford. 30-foot booms. So I'm guessing by the sounds of it they didn't get it back to at least running condition. It just is in as-is condition. We'll come back to this. I'm gonna go down to the end here and we'll move our way through. Try to anyhow. Start down here on the trucks. Sounds like they were already having issues. I got lucky and a field marshal was camped back by us, was driving up front this morning, so he picked me up and brought me up front, and I was talking to him on the ride up here. It's a nice old International fire truck. I was talking to him on the way up here, and I guess yesterday they already had two gators run into each other at speed, and one guy was ejected over both of them. 1921 Rio, and they had a guy pass out from heat stroke on the food court yesterday afternoon, which, I mean, that's not, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal, but it was kind of honestly expecting to hear about more of that, and there was just the one incident of it, which is pretty impressive as hot as it was yesterday and for a lot of the age group you're dealing with here. And then they've had a couple guys with plows not getting them picked up all the way crossing the runway, and they've got scratch marks in the runway already, and it's only been going on for a day. I don't think these idiots that do this crap realize that all it takes is one person to ruin it for everybody, and then it's done for good. Because this is still a working airport. When we leave on Sunday, they plan on opening it back up on Monday. And before they open it up, the runways, everything's got to be inspected by an official, and if it doesn't pass muster, that costs the club money. What in the name of hillbilly hell? Just no. Just no. That's no. No. So yeah, I wish people would understand. And you know, I mean, you know darn well that this day and age, you could explain that to somebody till they're blue in the face, and there's just people in this world that will not understand the fact that you have to take care of this place like it was your own, because if you don't, we will lose it. It's just, it's frustrating. I'm not even part of the club, and it frustrates me because I don't want to lose it. But is what it is, unfortunately. He said they had to change a bunch of rules for this year because of stuff that happened last year, and I guarantee you, because of stuff that happened this year, they're gonna have to change a bunch of rules, and it's all because of liability. They got to cover their ass too. This is a gear drive version of the Mini. This is a Ford 120. So same basic tractor, just gear drive instead of hydro. Ferguson road grader conversion. I'm guessing it's in the middle of a restoration, because the grader frame's painted and the tractor's not. Looks like it is set up for one-man operation. The clutch is moved forward. I'm guessing that's a gear shift, maybe. I'm gonna try to avoid too many of these. Where one-man power grader, Milwaukee. Is that gear shift? Or yes, that is gear shift. And I'm guessing there's a throttle. But it was fun to try to start it. Your crank's right there. Unless that platform came out of the way somehow for starting purposes, and then you put it back once you got rolling. But anyhow. I'm going to try to avoid too many one-off walk-arounds, because that eats up a lot of video time, and there's not too many people here for watching the static display. No, 6-cylinder conversion. I'm guessing it's I think this here is an indicator that it's a funk, maybe. And then it's got a Sherman over and under in it. Ford 660 with a, oh, that's a Napco front wheel or four-wheel drive. Ford V8 conversion. Another Ford 120. That one's a hydro, so this one is, that's the Mini right there. See, and this one's got this hole in the hood. I wonder if that's a year thing. Wonder if the later ones they added that. Another 6-cylinder conversion. Wonder if that's a legit gold demo or if it's a recreation. I don't know enough about the years and everything on the gold demos to know if that's legit or not. Okay, oh, we got another row of Fords. Never mind. The guy with that 1256, he was having a rough go of it. When we pulled in Wednesday afternoon, his truck wouldn't start, and Jake Ziegler was here working on it for him. And they ended up couldn't get it running, and Jake ended up having to pull him in the gate with his pickup. I wonder what we got going on with the... Oh, it's a pull-in. It's all sorts of... I was going to say, I wonder what's going on with the automotive rack and pinion. Pulling tractor things. So, oh, hold on. I got to take a picture of this 9000 for a buddy. So anyway, back to the guy with the International. Then he got in here and he got unloaded about the same time I did, and he finally got his truck started and everything, and then I'm sitting there getting the tongue put back on the disc, and I hear this god-awful scraping sound. You got a gooseneck with a hydraulic dovetail, and he still had the dovetail sitting down on the ground with the outrigger bar down. He's dragging the trailer across the runway. It's like, whoa, 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 stop. Aluminum hood 2 or aluminum hood 9N. Serial number 16. Wow. And that's a regular 9N. I had an uncle that used to have one of those, and not that I'm actually not an N fan at all, but if I had to have one, I kind of wish I still had his. It's still, if I remember right, his son ended up with it, and Lord knows what happened to it after that. Dad actually busted his front tooth working on it when he was younger. He was laying underneath it for something, and a wrench fell off overhead and fell down and hit his mouth and busted one of his front teeth in half. So he's got a cap on one of his front teeth. Here's a fun fact for you for the day. And we'll do this little circle of stuff here, and then I'll go down and we'll come down that side. Somebody got some time in that loader. That is a pretty nice job for an old manure loader. I don't see too many guys redoing any of those. Obviously that manure loader had a snow bucket on it. Wow, that generator is way out of whack. It's okay, let me walk down to the end here and we'll swing down that side. And we got some old Sears economies. These would have been sold out of the Sears catalog. Always kind of wanted to get one, just because I think they're neat. I've seen this guy several times before. He hits a fair number of shows. But he likes his Sears. He likes his Sears equipment and goods and whatnot. Hence all the pedal tractors and what have you. This one came out of an IH dealer. KG Richmond, Dansville, New York. Oh, Massey clipper. Basically, this is a self-propelled version of a Massey Harris clipper pull type. Some green belly Fergusons. Tractor's been on the same farm since it was purchased brand new. 5/28/1955 was the only new tractor his dad ever bought. That's also one of the features they got going on this year, is the Heritage family tractor, or you know, tractors that were purchased and stayed in the same family since new, or not necessarily stayed in the same family, but tractors you might have got back into the family or what have you. We'll worry about these here in a minute. Let's finish up the Masseys. .44 special, straight 44. These things seem a little out of place. 33 with a mounted rollover plow. That's quite the contraption. That's probably almost one of the only ones left in existence. Number 33 rollover plow. All of your Massey memorabilia for your needs. Old Massey 22, that'd be roughly the same size as an Oliver 60. .44 Wheatland. Massey Challenger, this little girl's a survivor. I don't think I've ever seen a wide front before. And I know I've never seen one with cast wheels like this. Well, they're aftermarket, that would explain it. Wilson and Nutwell, Fresno, I'm guessing California. I don't think there's any other Fresnos. So many California tractors here this year, that's weird. And then we got your Massey Harris pony. Nope, that's a Pacer. That is a Pacer. And then a Ferguson pony, which is the same as a Massey Harris pony. Massey 81, which I believe is what became the 22. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a Massey guy. 55 on full steel. $55 on rubber. Navy I-330, which is industrial version of that. Only one known to exist of 6 made by Massey under contract for U.S. Navy. Dual wheels, 330 cubic inch Continental, 24 volt electrical system, made in Racine, Wisconsin, shipped to Miramar Naval Air Station, San Diego, California, 1954. .202 work bowl. All your Massey garden tractors for all your garden tractor needs.
This don't look like this though.
And now we come to these guys. We saw this here at the last show. Rope 88 with a 12-cylinder 702 GM in it, with twin turbochargers for all your horsepower needs. It would have been cool to see this pull. I bet this thing was a riot. '88 with a 354 Perkins. Massey 22 with a, I want to say a flathead forward, but the heads don't look right. So I'm gonna say unknown on that because I do not know enough about automotive engines, and I don't see any casting marks to indicate. So I'm sure somebody knows what that is. Could possibly be a Chrysler, maybe. 1955 with a Cummins conversion. Had a cab on it at one point because those are the bumpers for the door. White 2270, same as a G1355. An actual G1355. 6030. belly G1000. G1000 Vista. Vista's got the raised operator platform. John Deere 420 with a weed burner. I smell a little LP. I think he's got a fuel leak somewhere. That being said, LP tractors just tend to have a stench to them to begin with. AI highway mower with spare bar rack, or spare cutter bar rack. Super A, made for mowing Christmas, or made for mowing a Christmas tree farm. If I remember right, that was the story on this, because I remember it. Alice IU with the spring lugs. This has been featured on several videos on several channels before. One of 40 manufactured. Owned by Ohio Fuel and Gas Company. .40-30 arrow front. Tractor pull sled, made in 1969. Restored in 2013. This is obviously their Corrales retired pulling tractors, although I don't think all of them are retired. What's left of a cockshut. Get these guys. Oh, that had to be a trick. You'd had to turn the whole drive line 90 degrees to put that thing in there. Be curious to know what kind of magic they got going on in there. Oh, we got these two over here. Now that is a contraption. You got a transmission going in there. That one's going on top of a, looks like an automatic, and it comes down and drives through the power takeoff. That is a contraption right there. And it looks like a Massey Harris rear end. This was back when tractor pulling was cool. There weren't really any rules. It was run what you brung and hope you brung enough. Modified tractor pulling anyhow. Some of the guys that built this stuff had balls that wouldn't fit in a 5-gallon bucket because they were literally just grenades. This one's got an Allison aircraft engine in it, if I remember correctly. Yep, Allison V1710. That's what it looked like when they found it. That's what it looked like back when it was pulling. So at some point they had a wide front on it. It must have started off as a narrow front. That's 1973, 1985. Apparently at some point they put a narrow front back on it. Well, they obviously found it with a wide front on it, so they must have decided to put a narrow front back on it, which would have been putting it back to obviously original. All your mini tractors for all your small farming needs. We can even set you up if you got a small orchard.
So, you know, a standard M was what, 35 or 7? I don't know what Dad's M had, but it had 60 feet. But it's fire rated though. I don't know. Dad had 3 M's. 2 had M&W and 1 had fire rated. 5 flew the outpull the M&W hands down. Well, we used to have an M pulled out 60 horse. That one did, the last one Dad had was wide front and everything, but it was over 60 horse. Okay, what's yours? It's a 52. It's got M&W and I don't know what's that.
All those tractors in that tent were owned by a guy named Bill Burnham. There's a bunch of videos of his stuff on YouTube. He specializes, he likes collecting not necessarily a certain color, but anything that's got M&W tied to it. Hence why all those farmalls are highly M&W tricked out. Okay, I think we're gonna finish this case area here and get this next 2 rows over, and then we'll call the tractor display section of this video done for the day, because that'll get me about halfway through this stuff, and we can finish up this tomorrow. So hang with me for a few more rows here. Gotta be getting close to time for flag raising too. In another half hour. $3,500. Wow. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever give that much for a wagon. case, but this is a 500 or not a... Not a 500, I think it's a 900. Nope, 600. Prototype for the model 900. Okay, and then this is a model 900. I forgot the 900 got the Comfort King style grill, or whatever the case guys call that front end. Nice original case cylinder. Not too many around like that. Case disc plow. That's in really nice shape. Spear to 76. If it's legit. Yep, it's a legit right there. 413.76. $970 Black Knight. I actually know where there's one of these at a farm back home. It's all still in its work clothes. And they still farm with it, but there is, pretty sure it's a 970. It might be a 770. It might be smaller. But either way, it's that small frame. It's a small frame Black Knight demonstrator. Okay, last row of case stuff, and we'll be about out of here for the morning. That one's been on the same farm for 64 years. That's always cool when families hang on to tractors like that. I think the world would be a little better place if more people were a little bit more interested in maintaining their family heritage like that, instead of everybody just wanting to throw everything away like they do now. Especially in the farming world, it just, well, that's a rant for another day as far as my feelings on that. But I want to go under the tent here first, because there's some stuff here for the guys overseas. Really nice Farmall 450 with a homemade cab. But here is for anybody that might be from Germany. D212, at least I think these are, I think this is a, yep, this is a new IH. So yeah, this is, so I know that they had a French plant and they had a German plant, and I don't know which models correlate to which, because I'm not up on my foreign IHs. But so this is a German D212. I think it's a 2-cylinder diesel. Yep, 2-banger. I think they had one smaller yet that was a 1-cylinder. And this is a John Deere Lands, so this would be, I can't remember what year Deere bought out Lands. I want to say it was right around 1960. 60-ish. And don't worry, Aussies, we'll get to the twin Chamberlain here in a minute. .706 LP Wheatland, Thirsty Girl. .40-20 with a triple nickel Cummins, I'm guessing. I don't think you'd fit anything bigger than that in here. I mean, you can make anything fit, but within reason. That old girl's a survivor. Still has the Kinsey decal on the nose. Supposedly, the little bit I know about the Kinsey Deere repowers, this air box is a pretty good giveaway of a Kinsey repower, because I guess this is actually a marine air intake that John used on these. So if I remember right from what I've been told, this is a pretty good giveaway of a Kinsey, is that air intake. .4640 with a Cummins. .4430 hydraulic front wheel assist. G1000 front wheel assist. That's a with a full rack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, missing one weight, and you have a full rack of Moline weights. G550, which would be a 1555 in disguise. Or was that a... yeah, that's a 1555. Yep. High shift towers is the giveaway. The numbers get weird with these, and I can't remember which one. And then this one is would have started out life as a G750, or no, G850. Yeah, G850, and then the 1955 would have been a G940. So yeah, this, and somebody repainted it Oliver colors, and then somebody found it. It's obviously still got the Moline grill shell. This stuff real quick while I'm here. Hassel Yanmar, nobody cares about that. Little Farmall 240, T340, Super MTAD. Really, that old girl is amazing. Look at that. That is straight as an Aero original. Holy cow. That old girl was somebody's baby. Oh, right there. Used one season, parked in a barn for 36 years. No shit. That one probably belongs in a museum somewhere. That thing is spectacular. Huh. The stuff some people are able to find is nuts. Okay, last little bit here and we'll be wrapped up on the tractor display for the day. And tomorrow it won't take me too long to work through. So I think I've actually got a little bit more than half of this block. John Deere Wagner WA17, which would be this would be the John Deere version of that yellow Wagner, because that's a WA17, but this one's got a Cummins, that one's got a Detroit. This is the tractor that killed Wagner. Thanks, John Deere. But if John Deere hadn't killed Wagner, we'd have never got Big Bud. So Panther 325. New Lothrop HD WE Co. Tractors, Farm Equipment, Cadets Hardware. 313 area code, wherever that is. It doesn't have a town on it. I'm pretty sure this is the 4300 that was at Farm All Land. I'm pretty sure this is the one, because that one had industrial, or that one had diamond tires on it. I'm pretty sure this is the one that was at Farm All Land USA that sold in the auction a couple years ago. Pretty sure. And if it is, I'm glad it's out and about and not sitting in somebody's collection that'll never see daylight again. 7520. We'll walk over here and check out this Hart part and this Ford COE. Hart Par 1836. Belted up to a McCormick Deering Husker shredder, so it would shell the corn and then spit your cobs out and shred the husks. Which actually, I think this would be your clean grain. And no, it couldn't. Well, I guess it could be. Yeah, okay, so this is actually your clean grain, because that's the shoe. So this would be where the corn came out, and then I'm guessing that there was probably something that, a chute or something, that would have spit it off to the side so you could sack it, and then I'm guessing that the blower was your shredded fodder, and then obviously your cob elevator out the front. I'm assuming. Don't quote me on that. Nope, I lied to you. Okay. So you put your stalks in here. The snapping rolls pull stalks through, ears come down. Okay, so whole ears come out here with the corn still on them, so there is no shelling action. The stalks must get pulled through, shredded, blown out here as fodder, and then there was probably, which is probably what these hooks for, there was probably a bag here to reclaim any butt shelled corn. That's probably how that worked. I'm more confident in that than I was my first iteration. I bet you had to be a small individual to drive this thing. Like, I'm not overly big, and I bet that would be cramped for me. Massey Harris GP four-wheel drive. The first mass-produced. It was not the first four-wheel drive, but it was the first mass-produced four-wheel drive.
It didn't run.
Oh.
1955 front wheel assist. $190. It's just a straight 190. I don't see XT. Yeah, straight 190 with a Levy hydraulic front wheel assist kit. 80/30 high crop. TD9 with street pads on it. Anarico International, Kansas City, Missouri. Mechanical handling systems and machinery installation. So I'm guessing it belonged to a rigging outfit. Little buddy seat welded on it. I'm guessing this belonged to a rigging outfit. Okay, the twin Chamberlains before we walk too far past it. Two Super 70 diesels hooked together, which I'm guessing, seeing as how there's a tag, I'm guessing that this was a factory tandem setup. I don't think it was factory Chamberlain, but I think somebody actually manufactured this tandem setup.
Look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, but how would they get there?
Well, you had to climb up on the back.
Basically Australian Super 99s. That's kind of what they remind you of. And then Alice 616, yeah, 616 cotton picker. If I remember right, these use D17 power units. Supposedly back, I guess, because I've watched several there's several, believe it or not, several factory, like Alice Chalmers sales videos on YouTube on these 616s, and some guys that have built models of them and stuff, and you read through the comment sections of guys that have ran them, and supposedly, like back in the day, Alice had like the cotton picker to beat. There are a lot of good words about them Alice cotton pickers. So they must have had the machine to beat at the time. And we'll get this pickup in this little 50, and we'll call this section of the video done, because we got to be close to an hour by now. I know I've already burnt through 60%, 50% of, no, 70% of my video, or my battery. I do like this old Chevy. I think she would make a good farm truck. Alright, we'll tease you with the Moline stuff, and this is where we will start tomorrow morning. Okay, they're doing some starting the field demos. Actually, they've been running for a little bit, but guy with a 2-row mounted John Deere stock chopper that works a little different than what we're used to. That one I can't get too close to. It's obviously, you can see that one throws stuff a ways away, but it's actually got rotors that counter rotate and throw out, and the rows come in and it hits the rows on the center on the bottom of its stroke, and it flails the opposite way of, you know, a normal flail type stock chopper that we're used to. And they're doing a little combining down here. I got out here kind of late again. I've been talking to people all morning, and well, not all morning. I obviously did the video and stuff, and then I stopped and talked to some friends for a while, and I kind of missed things getting started out here. Come look for all the golf carts. That's where the combines are. Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice. Do what? Oh, I'm out in the cornfield. Like there's a Massey Ferguson combine just coming out the end right now. Alright. Right. Set up, but he had a flag on the wall on a remote, and that horse was so good, it would stay laser focused on that flag, and he could sit in the saddle and clench his legs with his hand behind his back, and that horse would follow that flag down and out and then focus again. out there, get that field done so they can replow it. And the field marshal says go up and disc by where they've been doing the horse plowing. So I gotta ditch this. Alright, I apologize we didn't get a decent end to today's video. We had the little meet and greet thing, which went pretty good. I'd say we had somewhere in the neighborhood of 15-20 people show up, which was better than I expected. And then had probably close to an hour and a half by the time everybody funneled through. And if you didn't, I hope I got to talk to everybody as long as everybody wanted to get talked to. I hope everybody didn't feel I wasn't. It was a little overwhelming. I'm not used to that many. Hopefully I made everybody satisfied. I tried. I'm not good at this type of thing, so hopefully everybody enjoyed themselves. I know I had a fun time talking to everybody. Lots of cool stories, lots of cool people to talk to. So like I say, thanks to everybody that showed up and had a good time. So, and I have talked to so many people today, besides, I mean, between people that know me from the channel and people that I just randomly met today. I talked to one family that drove up from central or west central Texas to Wisconsin to pick up a 4-bottom international plow, and then stopped at the show on the way back. They had no clue who I was. I didn't introduce myself as, hey, I'm this guy. I just talked to him like a normal person, because that's not the type of person I am. And I bet I talked to those guys for 45 minutes to an hour while we were watching the combines run. Had a really cool conversation with those guys. So I like talking to people. I like talking to, they don't even have to be people watching me. I just like talking to people while I'm down here. Normally I'm not a social person. Personally, I'd rather not talk to anybody. I like to go over in my corner and do my own thing, and it's just the type of person I am. But when I come to a place like this, I don't know, I just like talking to people, because the people that come here are my kind of people. So, but I've talked to people from Texas, Georgia, lots of people from Ohio, obviously Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Iowa, Tennessee, Kentucky, where else? There's been a lot. New Hampshire, New York, I think I'm sure there's been more, but I've met people from so many different states in the last 2 days. I love coming to this show. So anyway, had a little bit of a scare because we came back here to get, we fuel up both trucks and had to get more fuel for the generator and the Mini, because we've ran 3 tanks of fuel through this thing so far in a day and a half. We've run the wheels off this thing. It's running great. The more we run it, the better it gets. But Got back here, hopped in the truck, started fine, ran for about 10 seconds. It died like you shut the key off, and cranking. I'm like, shit, the fuel pump went out, because you cycled the key and you couldn't hear the fuel pump come on. So I called Jake, see if he had anybody that was friends that was a mechanic that wouldn't mind pulling a Saturday job. And he's like, no, I don't really know anybody besides people that work on their own stuff. But he's like, I'll drive out there, we'll take a look at it, and we'll make sure to get you out of here and get you home before Sunday. So that's how you find out who your friends are. When he was out watching a tractor pull, he said, I'm gonna watch this one more tractor pull and then I'll be out. And sure as shit, he was out here about 10 minutes later. But luckily in that time period, after I'd calmed down and in the shock of being 5 hours away from home with 2 trucks, a camper and tractors and everything, being 5 hours away from home, I'm like, okay, calm yourself down, collect your thoughts, let's start simple. So I went up to the fuse box and checked relays and found the fuel pump relay. And luckily the fuel pump, the horn, and the fog lights all use the same relay. So I pulled the fog light relay out and stuck it in the fuel pump relay socket. Sure as shit, she fired right up, ran like a top. So it's like, okay, it's a $20 relay, not a $150 fuel pump that we've got to drop the tank and do all this crap with half a tank of fuel in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere. Because I was stressing there for a minute. But anyway, that's enough talking. This video's got long enough, so we'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll start there at the Molines and work our way around and get some more static stuff. And I'm hoping tomorrow to get some more corn pickers. I'd like to get some shelling in, get some more combines, and try to get some plowing. I feel like I haven't got enough of field demos. I've been talking to a lot of people. I'm doing what I can for you guys. I'm trying to keep everybody happy and talk to the people that want to talk and get video and try to enjoy myself all at the same time. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow.